GM Farcaster. It is. Woohoo! It is Tuesday. Crazy. We're here on a Tuesday. And you are here with Nana Shroff and Ted for 21 minutes of Farcaster News to start your day. Ted is my special guest co-host today. So excited. Adrian's on vacay for the beginning of the part of this week. And tomorrow we have Erica Heavyweight coming in. I'm so excited too. So we're having all the fun this week with all the girl power. How are you doing today, Ted?
Welcome. I'm good. I can't believe it's April 2nd. I'm like, what is going on?
Are you freaking out?
How is it April, you guys?
How is it April? I know. I'm kind of freaking out. I have a lot to do before.
Too much to do. I'm like,
I have a lot to do before FarCon. I can't even imagine what you've got to do before FarCon.
So, wow, I feel like a crazy person, but that's it.
That's it. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. So let's dive in. We've got lots to talk about. I want to start with my background, which is from Max Jackson. This was from our amazing drop that we did Friday. So we haven't had a chance to talk about it yet. Here for the art. We're going to be doing one of these every month. It goes out to our subscribers, our hypersub subscribers for wowow, and you're allowed listed if you're on Mole. So, and this is why I wanted to start with this. If you really want to pick this up and you're not on the allow list, you can still actually sign up for the Mole subscription, and it will go out to you before the end of the week.
It's huge.
So there you go. It's huge.
Everybody sign up. Everybody sign up.
Go check it out. It's amazing. By the way, hypersubs, loving. I'm getting all the many such cases, and I've been listening like a fiend, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. Because I love it. I love it so much.
Yeah.
Dan, hey, by the way, 77K DAO yesterday. This is daily active users, higher, new record. Craziness. We're back to craziness. Can you feel it? I feel it. Like
I do feel it. I like
it's a lot.
This morning in my notifications were I was like, how are what is going on?
Yes. We're back to that moment after frames and degen, and it was just like all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, there's so many people here. It's that again. And I'm like, I'm not ready. So yeah, and I was the Pearl game yesterday. That was an experience.
Oh, really?
So I actually played into it. I was like, okay, I'm gonna try my best. And the more won. So for those who bet on me, thank you. Nice. But I was nervous for you. I gotta tell you, I was nervous. But that was interesting. Very different experience. Yeah. So have you been a subject of a Pearl game yet?
Yes, I was one of the first ones, and it was like, well, Ted cast more or less than 9 times on a Sunday.
Oh, that was an easy more.
I know. No, that was easy less. I don't cast on the weekends.
Oh, you don't cast on the weekend. Oh, you're one of those people with boundaries and stuff. Okay, interesting. I have a friend like that I'm always like, I'm like, Woody, you have such good boundaries. You're so good about like shutting things off. And I'm like, I'm really not. Terminally online. Also this from Dan. This is big news yesterday. This was not, to be very clear, this was not an April Fool's joke. This is for real. This is from Dan. We're hiring our first full-time designer. Requirements: 6+ years of experience in product design, 3+ years of experience designing consumer products, must be physically located in the US or Canada, no exceptions. If you're interested, send me a DC with a link to the product that best showcases your work. So if you are a designer and interested, this would be an amazing opportunity. So jump in there, jump in those DMs really fast.
It would be. Yeah,
what a great team to work with.
Cena casted something this morning that I thought was so on point, and what I was thinking about as well, which was it's like a non-fungible role that only exists at a particular company at a particular moment in time, where you get to basically influence and shape the design that will define the next era of the internet and the web. So I was like, wow, yes, so spot on. Like, you think about, yeah, I'm just like, damn, if I was a designer, I'd be all over this.
Right? I mean, I'm like, everyone's like tagging OX designer.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's in the market, but I'd love to see, I can't wait to see what happens and how it shapes our experience. So that's going to be
Same.
really, really interesting. So this is going to be more than just the Merkle team. This is like about all of us, like, because we're all going
Yeah.
to feel this very, very deeply on a daily basis. So pretty
Yeah.
cool. Pretty cool.
I'm
And then from
excited.
Varun, just a note, NFT pages and profiles are currently offline. We need to rewrite the queries to keep up with the extra load we're seeing this week. Hope to bring them back by the end of the week. So if you're looking for your NFTs and they're not there, it's okay. They'll be back. I love my little NFT pages because I love to go in and see who else has the same for certain NFTs, like who else holds them, and then I'll make sure I'm following them and all of that. So
They don't
it's
have
super
that
useful.
on web, right? That's only on mobile, right?
I think it might only be on mobile. I think you
Okay.
might be right. I don't know. I'm not sure, but
I
I
think
believe it might just
so.
be on mobile. Might be
Okay.
on mobile.
Okay.
But I love it. I love the feature. I used to love the NFT feed and the trending feed, but they took it away because nobody really used it. But I did. I loved it. Bring it back.
Well, I think it would be very different today. Like, anyways, we could talk.
Probably.
You know me. We could talk about this like for
I know.
literally
I'm
ever.
gonna be
Okay,
just
keep
just
going.
as a
Keep going.
warning,
Keep
I'm gonna be
going.
cutting you off and like running. I'm just kidding. But this is why I love listening to many such cases, because you guys just go and you can spend so much more time like deep diving. And I think that's needed. Like we need those deeper dives into some of these things. And we're really about like, here's your quick hits of what's going on. Then go see, Ted and Nonlinear for the deep dives, or Kristen and Artlu, who just
Yeah.
were on earlier.
I was
There's
watching that a little bit earlier from my phone, so it was
it's so
like a
fun.
non. But yeah, I love their show too.
I do too. Yeah, I love seeing that all of you are putting it on chain. So like that's making me so happy. It's just, it's my jam. And before we go into enjoy, let's talk really quick about one more thing, really important. Crypto social media firm Merkle gets unicorn valuation in Paradigm deal. And a couple other notes on this real quick. We had a note from Jayme that was so good about everything, the people, and talking about all of what happened, which was amazing. And then I also loved this. If you didn't see this, Merkle Manufactory pitch deck, which I thought was hilarious. It's not the
I did
real
not.
pitch deck.
I'm
Let me
waiting for
be
it.
clear. It's like
Colin
it's
Johnson
so
is
funny.
hands down like
It is
low key one
not
of the
the
funniest
real
people.
pitch deck.
He's so funny. He's low key underrated. Like he's like, yeah,
So
he
funny.
makes me
And I
laugh
can't get
all
it to
the
come up,
time.
but it's really funny.
Uh-oh.
I can't get this frame to come up, but go take a look at it because it's really funny. But I did love, thank you, Cameron, thank you, Jayme, for making these notes about this. So what do you think about this? This is pretty big.
So
It's $1
speaking
billion
of,
with a B dollar
yeah.
valuation.
So this actually came out 5 minutes before Johnny and I recorded many such cases on Saturday. So we were like,
Oh, I hate when
oh
that
my
happens.
God. And then Workcast went down. And so like actually many such cases that will probably drop like tomorrow is like the first 20 minutes is us recapping this. But my TLDR is like,
Cool.
congratulations to the entire team. Like truly congratulations to the entire team. I'm like, do you just have infinite runway now because they're so disciplined about what they do? So I think it'll be interesting. I think I'm really excited about it. And I think it was 100% a leak. It was definitely a leak.
Yeah.
So that is, what do you think?
I think it's amazing, and I'm just excited to see what happens next. And back at FarCon in Boston last year in June, I met Dan, and about 5 minutes in, I went, so how much runway do you have? Because in my mind, as I was there, I was thinking, I need to build something on this, and I don't know what exactly yet. But I was like, feeling the energy in the room, I knew I needed to be deeper in a part of it. But I don't want to build something if they're going to be gone in the year. And he's like, 5 years. I'm like, okay, good. All right, I'm in.
No,
but
they have.
This is like 100 years.
Also, like,
so
let's just remember what interest rate environment we're in right now. Yeah. Just remember what interest rate we're
Uber runway.
in. Yeah. Yeah. So cool.
Yeah, it's
Uh-oh.
crazy.
I can't
It's really
hear
crazy.
you.
Like this has been this is amazing. So I'm really excited. Yeah, it's really exciting. And somebody just said in the chat, much better to raise when you don't need it. Yeah, for sure, Links. Very, very, very true.
Yeah.
And yeah, you are glitching in and out, but it's okay. We're keep going. I do want to mention this from Pinata. It's all right. It's almost like you're doing it on purpose, like your TikToks. You know what I mean? So it's all good. We're just gonna be like, no, she meant to do that. It's like her style. It's just her style. It's all good.
I'm dying. That was good. That was good. Okay.
Yeah, it's just it's just what she does. You just understand this newfangled Gen Z style. It's all good. So Pinata, and they announced this yesterday. So they were announcing it on April Fools. They said big real announcement, but we ship no matter the day. Announcing Pinata's new Farcaster Auth service. This makes it easier for developers to build auth into their apps, and we're supporting in 2 flows, managed and sponsored. Go, if this is of interest to you as a dev, go take a look and dive in. There's a lot more detail in that link, and this link will be in our show notes. And the Pinata team was on a retreat last week, and I'm like, most people go on a retreat and just chill. Apparently, they go on a retreat and ship. So there you go. Right? That's how they do it. That's how they do it. And speaking of shipping, this is amazing. So Enjoy. So the Enjoy Tech launched a little while ago, and I was like, what exactly is going on? And then yesterday they introduced Enjoy distribution rewards. And this is a way that you can tip on Zora on mints. So I am ecstatic. Like this is really exciting. I have over 1 million to tip.
Dang, look at you getting all those GM Farcaster. That was like the best thing you could have done.
But also because I mint a lot of stuff too. Like just go look at my wallet. I mint other people's things. So it was a little bit of everything. So, I'm excited. So I get to this is for me giving it away. And I am excited. And I did a few tipping today. So although I am a Many Such Cases subscriber, I also went and minted another episode just so I could tip you. I did the same for Kristen and Artlu's podcast. I went through and Zero Pod. I went back and reminted things.
Hell yeah.
I reminted things I already minted because I am going to support onchainmedia like nobody's business. So if you have something like that, if you're doing music, if you're doing podcast, if you're doing animation, if you're doing screenshot essays, I consider that me. And you're minting it, drop it in on the onchainmedia channel, and it will get a little tippy tip if it's good, if I like it. So there you go. Exciting. So what did you think about this? This is super fun.
I think it's super fun, and I'm excited to see how it works. I think I asked a few questions just because I was like, wait.
Yeah. It was a little confusing.
Yeah. I was like, I remember seeing it a month ago, and then what's going on with it? And then I also, of course, I'm like Farcaster Maxi. So I'm like, wait, why are we not incorporating the Farcaster social? Like, why aren't we incorporating that into it? Because
that was your question. Okay. Your question makes so much more sense to me now because you were asking about Zora's.
Yeah. Because I was like, oh, I'm minting in Warpcast. I'm commenting on the feed. In theory, you could do both of those. So it almost feels like they're trying to drive Zora as a social network, which to me isn't Zora's strength. So anyways, that was just like my initial reaction. But
that makes a lot of more sense to me now. And what I did comment and I tagged Jacob on was I would love to be able to do this within the frame. And I bet you.
Yes, exactly.
I would bet I will bet you all my degen tip on Friday that we'll probably see it by Friday because they ship really fast. And when he sees something, I bet they're already working on that so that you can just mint and comment in the frame. But we'll see.
I don't know. They do ship fast, but they also have their own priorities. So
they do, but
and
I don't know. This feels like a Jacob kind of thing to do. It really does. So we'll see. We'll see. I think he likes to, they did build in, you do your followers or people you follow on Farcaster do come up as suggested follows on Zora as well. So there's some connection, but it's not exactly the same.
This could be a 15-minute discussion.
This seriously could be its own podcast, like 100%. And we really should get.
They're trying to drive people to the Zora webpage when, in theory, if you look at what Mint and Feed did for Zora, it just doesn't make sense to me. Again, like why it wasn't. Yeah, it's like, okay, they're actually just
I
trying
think
to
it'll
get people
come.
to go to.
I think it'll come. They also did something really big, and I think that was just last week, but it feels like a million years ago, where you can now mint in any ERC20s. So you can type in the degen contract or any contract, and you can then set it up to be minted with that coin. And that was the connection with Uniswap that they built in. They had that partnership that it was announced like a couple weeks ago. So they're doing a lot of different things. But one of the first things was, of course, everybody started minting on degen with degen. So that was really fun. So I think they will. I think we'll see. I'll see that. We'll see that soon. We'll see more connections soon. And in the meantime, since I mentioned the word, it's been a bit of a degen party like since Thursday. I was like, we're gonna save this to the end or towards the end. I do have a couple more things about you, but we gotta talk about degen because this was nuts. So we had two big things happen at the same time. The first was DegenChain. L3 is up and running, and this happened 5 days ago, and it feels like 500 years ago. More info coming soon on degen.tips. A big thank you to Syndicate for making this chain happen. Also, a special shout out to Conduit and Airstack for their tremendous work behind the scenes. For more details, check out the Syndicate blog. And Syndicate, their announcement was today, we're excited to announce the launch of DegenChain, a L3 for the degen community built with Arbitrum Orbit base for settlement and any trust for DA. The chain's native gas token is degen. It's big, making it one of the first community tokens with its own L3. It's the only one I have. And what was amazing to watch was the activity over the weekend was nuts. Within 24 hours of launching DegenChain, 2 million plus transactions, 1 million plus bridged, 24,000 plus active addresses, 370,000 blocks, 0.1 second average block time, first VRF on chain, dozens of devs deploying contracts. And we're just getting started. Like that was, it felt like, remember Frame Friday? It was like that all over again. And this from Base. Degen is pioneering the future by launching one of the first L3s on Base. L3s are app chains, which deliver lightning fast transactions because they settle on L2s like Base instead of connecting directly to Ethereum. A new on-chain internet demands new models for scaling, and L3s utilize the power of L2s in new ways. So there was a whole bunch of other stuff that happened. We also had the claim that dropped. So if you've been tipping away, you received a bunch of degen the other day, or you were being tipped as well, and including Bountycaster, which was pretty cool. Thank you for all the degen tips. All the tips received so far each month to this account gets sent directly to Bountycaster to fund building it. So this is what I thought was amazing, was seeing people who are funding startups with degen. And we're not alone here. I'm right there with you. And Legion, go take a look at this. The case for why meme coins are useful. This is amazing too.
This.
You do? Okay.
But we can talk about it after you.
But I'd love to. I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's way too long. But go take a look at it. I definitely think there is, there's definitely going to be different approaches because I think meme coin, depending on what they are and what they do and how they're treated, there's good and bad, 100%. And be careful, DYOR, not every meme coin is made the same. Exactly. And I just want to mention one more thing, and then we're going to circle back to that, was this, because NFTdegen.lol, this was crazy how quickly this launched on DegenChain. You could be launching NFTs. You could be buying your name.degen. It was kind of crazy. And that's on the L3. But I'm going to circle back to this. Whoops. Talk to me, Ted.
I commented.
Are meme coins useful?
I mean, like meme coins are useful for a lot of things, mostly as experimentation. And it's like something that will give you signal. And I think you'll probably talk about this next time, but Brian and Grace just launched like a really interesting meme coin implementation as well as part of Unlonely, which maybe you guys will be able to do here.
I totally missed it.
Yeah. I don't.
People
It's
don't
brand
launch
new.
things
It
on
just
the
happened.
morning before a show. I don't have time to catch it.
Yeah.
You're supposed to do it the day before.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about it tomorrow. I
Exactly.
don't even
So
know what
there's
it
two
is.
things. It's like on this one, I'm like, okay, it's like, who are we to tell users what they want and how to spend their time or money? And Steve Jobs had a really good quote on this. And Dan also has a really good quote on this, is like, we're not supposed to tell users what they want or how to spend their time or money, but we are supposed to understand what they want and how they want to spend their time or money. And there's a difference. This is the whole stated versus revealed preference. So like, that's one thing. And then the second thing is like the last paragraph where it's like meme coins are going to help with loneliness was just I just was like, I think that's a little bit of a stretch. And I even commented and I was like, what happens when a meme coin completely gets nuked and the price tanks? And I think Jesse had a better point of it where he was like, meme coins can be explicit about what they are for. But on Farcaster, the two overarching meme coins are degen and higher, which completely break through this idea of like meme coins just being played for entertainment and financial gain. So that's just kind of like what I mean is like I think they keep talking about meme coins as like one category and it can't be anymore. And it feels dishonest or like intellectually dishonest or disingenuous to continue like pumping this meme coin narrative when the others are very, very unique. And so that was my issue with it is I was like,
I think you have to think about like what is this meme coin doing? What is the purpose of it? Is it, obviously there's still most of them are pump and dumps. Like most of them you want to stay a mile away from. Like, and I say this in class to my students all the time of like, be really careful. Like there's a lot of crap out there. And then every once in a while you get a gem. You get degen, you get higher. Higher has been crazy over the weekend too. That one went nuts. So I think there's, definitely agree. There's plus or minus. In terms of loneliness, I think we can relate that to the internet in general, though, right? You're going to have folks who they do not make genuine connections online. They make genuine connections IRL only. And so online, anything isn't going to solve their loneliness, period.
Yeah.
Then you have some crazy people like me who don't tell my IRL friends, but I like you people better.
I know. I'm the same. I love my Farcaster friends. But at the end of the day, I'm like, having your identity or your sense of community, you can look at this with like Vapes and crypto, like Bored Apes and CryptoPunks. Like when the price tanked, like where's the community?
Yeah.
Let me know.
That's, exactly. I think that's a great point. Great point. Like, do you only like the NFT or the community when the price is going higher? When it's up only, or do you like them no matter what? And that's a big difference, right? So for those of us who've been here since there were like 938 of us who are active, it's nice that we know the number. And before, especially you, like the ones who were Miss 239, when there was like two people. Like you were talking.
I thought it was so cool because like you couldn't tell who liked your casts. And then I was like, oh, I get like it was always like Dan and Varun. Like I thought, oh my god, I have all these likes. It was just Dan and Varun for like a year.
It's so funny. Yeah. I mean, but it's for those who were here when there was nothing here, like we're here for the long run. We're here for the up, the down, because there's something bigger that we feel. But there are definitely, and I felt it over this weekend again, there's people who are just coming in for the coin, not necessarily for the community. However, we've seen a lot of people come for the coin and stay for the community. Like,
I think it's
make
a
that
good
transformation.
Top of funnel. I think it's a good top of funnel. I think the difference with, I think about this a lot in terms of community and in terms of content is like, you can't necessarily like lose money. Like in Web 2 world, the actual benefit is that you're not really going to like lose money. You pay for a service and you get the value out of it. And then like, you're never going to lose money. But in this world, you can lose money. So anyways, just interesting thought experiments.
Yeah. And I say this to my students too all the time. Like you never put anything into crypto you're not willing to lose. Like I assume when I buy an NFT, when I buy a meme coin, when I move some ETH around, that I'm saying goodbye to that ETH. And if I don't, sometimes it works out great. and sometimes it doesn't. And sometimes I just want to buy art and I like pretty things, and it's, fair.
Yeah.
So it really just depends.
Yeah.
All right, we are running a little low on time. We're a little over, but we're going to keep going because we've got a few more things to talk about. Drakula is another one. We've got to talk about this. 40 million in volume in a little over 2 weeks. And the creator fund they're creating, to me, is what is really interesting. So thoughts on Drakula, because I have to ask you, because you are the queen of Drakula at the moment. So whether you like it or not. And by the way, I think you should leave all your content there. I think it's really interesting, but also start, and you're already doing it, adding the new stuff and making it, current and all that stuff. So
yeah,
I think both.
Alex is so funny because he's like, oh my God, look at what we're doing. And I'm like, he's like, look at your brand. Like, look at what we've done. Like, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I think everybody now hates my content. I was like, I don't know if this is net positive for me, because like truly now when people see my face, they literally just keep trying to scroll to get away from it because they've already seen enough of my content. Anyways, I'm really excited. I won't go into that. I'm really excited about the creator fund because I do think there's like meaningful money that people can be earning here. And I'm laughing at
it's really hard. I have a really hard time. I have to not look at the chat. I look at the chat after most of the time because it's really hard. They know how to get me, though. They know how to get my attention. They just splash it. That's the only stuff I usually say. And it's usually woofy.
So there's a lot of money,
yes,
like, because on TikTok, I will say, like, it is hard to make money on TikTok unless you have like pretty much viral videos. And so I think this is important to attract people over. Also, I think it will attract a lot of Twitter, like crypto content will never perform well on TikTok. And if people think it does, like, they're lying to themselves. So I think that this is great.
You would know. You've actually done like actual, data collection on that. So for sure.
So I think
which I thought was great. I loved that you did a comparison, right? You compare the same exact video, TikTok, Twitter, Drakula, so that you could see the difference, which I think that's amazing. That's a great way to do it.
Thank you.
And then
the thing about TikTok is that they reward based on video, not based on like who you are as a creator. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out, but I do think it's great. It's another good example of like Degen giving grants. This will obviously encourage new content in the Farcaster ecosystem, blah, blah, blah. So I'm super excited about it.
I think the social graph that plays in there too, I think is really interesting too. Once that gets a little bit more solidified, where I want a feed that's just people I follow on Farcaster. Like, that's what I want. Like, I want that to be my For You feed. And then I'll go look at all the other things and see what's
I think that's how it will be.
Yeah, that would be better for me. Like, that would drive me there more often. And I've been creating a little bit, but my skills, this is the first thing we got to hire is a junior editor Erica's hooking me up to like do my Drakula / TikTok-y type stuff, because I don't know how to do it. Anyway,
I can help. I can help with the TikTok stuff.
It might be you. One other thing related, Bracket.Game also saw insane volume. They're also incorporating degen. So this is why this is part of our degen moment. I started to do this and then I didn't have time to really dive in. Are you still doing the pool? Are you in?
Yeah, but I just initially bought in as I normally did, which is great. I'm long Purdue. Purdue, I hope, wins.
Okay.
But I'm really excited about Bracket.Game because
I am too.
There's a variety of reasons, but I even pulled it up over the weekend because my family and like a bunch of friends are all in a, what's it called, bracket, like a fantasy bracket. And I pulled it up and my brother, who knows like nothing about crypto, was like, wait, this is really cool. Like, wait, how does this work? And he was like, I was trying to describe it to him. He's like, wait, this is awesome. So yeah, because he loves this. And so I think this is just a much better implementation. So,
and I love, TLDR, he's been experimenting, like they've been experimenting with a bunch of different things along the way, and Nilly and all this stuff. And it's been really interesting to see these, similarly with Pearl, seeing like sort of the pivots in the developments and like, okay, let's go this way. And I feel like they hit on it. They found the thing, which is it's really interesting. It's really fun. And I will love to see how can we use this for things like, hold on, Club Ted Poker.
Yeah.
I think we could do a bracket game with Club Ted Poker Night.
I want to do it.
We could do this all this little like all these things together. I am super excited. Okay, so I got to play poker in the first one. Got somebody to lend me their spot essentially, who couldn't play, and now I'm officially in because I now picked up the Club 10 NFT, and I have to tell you, Toady Hawk is desperate to get in this game. We need to find somebody to sell him a Club 10.
You don't need Club
NFT.
10. You don't need it.
I thought you did. He tried to register. He couldn't get on. I'll talk to you afterwards.
For which one? He can do the late night game. You don't need it. I did half and half. I said half.
I have it on video, Toady. I won't. Okay.
Yeah, he should be able to get in.
All right, cool. I will let him know. But this is going to be a lot of fun. I love that you're using degen. I think that's amazing. And that tips are allowed. That's really cool. That's very creative. That gives a lot more opportunity for people. And I just think this is going to be so much fun. I had a blast. Like, it was just fun, hang out, talk about all the things, talk about FarCon. You were way underestimated. I underestimated you.
Everyone underestimated me.
Underestimated you. Underestimated. And mostly mine was about the odds. So if you didn't know, before the last game, Ted put a prop bet out there about whether or not how she would do, and most people voted against her.
No, like literally 90%.
I was going to say, wasn't it like 10%?
And even after the game was over, and I was like, "Look, I won." People still kept betting against.
They didn't think so. I know. I know. So don't bet against Ted. She's a player. She knows what she's doing. I was in there until the end, and then I didn't have a bad hand. I had a great hand. I wouldn't play it any different. But by the way, I loved the thing at the end. Like, I loved that Jordan captured it and made it into an NFT. We have to do that every time. I love that.
I really like this platform. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. It was really good. So I'm excited about that. And also, speaking of little changes in your life, and everyone can go read this fun little screenshot essay here. So you're no longer at your full-time gig, similar to where I'll be in about a month. So how are things going?
I mean,
it's like day 2.
Day 2. It's great. I just have like, well, granted, to be candid, I've been like firing on all cylinders for FarCon and then the Club TED stuff, and then also my full-time job, and then also we had kind of like an examination going on at the same time. So I have and then I had a crazy weekend. So I'm still like kind of, it's almost like after an entry. Yeah, you get it. But yeah, it feels great.
It's my life right now.
Yes, exactly. Where you're like, ugh. So I'm just trying to catch up on FarCon stuff, truly, to be honest with you, because I'm realizing everyone's like, where's this? Where's that? And I'm like,
And that's where I want to end. And that's actually where I want to end this, and make sure that we call out any of the amazing FarCon things. So you've put this out here, and I thought this was really interesting. So with how, this is from Ted about in the FarCon channel, with how impossible it is to keep up with everything FarCon related, I actually think a FarCon could use a dedicated Farcaster native app. It will be an MVP and then white labeled for our other conferences, summits. Interesting. Demand exists, definitely. iConnections, Cvent, etc. But the solution becomes 10x more powerful with the full FC stack. So totally agree. Would love to see this. And so if you are interested in building this, I guess reach out to you.
I actually have a call to discuss this. So
exciting.
A couple people. So yeah, I guess people hear it. And also it's just like a good testament or good signal that Warpcast is just like so much content nowadays.
So much going on. And that's why we're building GM Farcaster Network, not just us. And also for FarCon, when is the deadline? If you have a lightning talk, we talked about this last week. If you have a lightning talk that you're interested in submitting for,
do it by
you're this Friday. Put that through paragraph. It's this Friday? Okay.
Yeah. Well, just submit it as soon as possible so people can vote.
As soon as possible. Okay. Soon as possible by Friday. And make sure you get that done. And I'm talking mostly to myself and Adrian at the moment. Because I don't know if she got hers in. I did not get mine in yet. And one last thing, I'm going to end with this fun little meme from Bold Leonidas. study headwear, layer 1, layer 2 with the base headphones, and layer 3 with the DegenChain hat. So I did think that was amusing. And with that, Ted, we went way over time, but
we did much better than last time.
We did better than last time. We're gonna get there. But also we were off. We normally do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and we haven't been back on since last Thursday, and everything happened. So there was a lot.
Yeah, there was so much.
There was so much, but thank you for co-hosting with me. You're amazing. If you haven't listened to many such cases, go listen, go binge listen and just catch up so you can get caught up. I loved your new one, connecting the dots. Connecting the dots.
Actually, I have to hop to record one of those.
Oh, cool. Who's next? You want to give us some alpha? No, she does not.
There we go. It is a she. It is a she.
It's a she. Okay, I'm gonna guess Linda, but I could be wrong.
Okay.
I could be wrong. Okay. But I think Linda's number 10, if I remember. Farcaster ID 10 or something like that. Yeah. So that would be my guess, but I could be wrong. There's a couple others. But with that, we're going to end right there. Thank you all so much. Have an amazing Tuesday, and I will be back tomorrow with heavyweight. We'll probably do a little bit better because we're at least caught up now. And we'll see. It's okay. We'll see you all at 8:30 a.m. tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye.